Hey class. All right, so got it. Maybe remember that having issues having this line type to display the dashes. Whoops. We're almost there. We were almost there. I was almost there. Just wrong command. That would be the right command is line type scale. Oops, line type scale. There it is. And notice that it asks you for a scale. I think right now I had it at 100. And you see how, again, if you keep your eyes on this line right here, you see if I do line type, and it's not line types display, it's line type scale. That's why I was confused. So rather than 100, I changed that to 1, and now we have dash lines. Okay. All right. Next step, layouts. So I think for the most part, we are used at print. So let's say that we needed to print this. So how we do this, you probably type print, and you would get this box right here, right, where you can set scale and the viewport and the paper size and all those things, which is great for some instances. But there's a better way for printing, especially for more, I guess, once you have a collection or an array of drawings and I guess more detailed drawings and a sheet, it's better to print with displays and viewports, and that way you can change the scale easier, and you can have drawings at different scales on the same sheet without having to scale them actually, but you scale the viewport. How does that work? I'll show you. So right here at the bottom, right, we actually can add a new layout. We'll call this we'll give this the creative name of 11 by 17, since that's going to be the sheet size that we're generating. We are going to create a size, do a custom landscape with a width of 17 and a height of 11. We'll click OK. All right, so check this out. So we have this gray box here. We have this rectangle, which I'm going to talk about right now. Then also to look down here, right, you have your tabs. So you have your top, perspective, front, right, and the layout that we just generated. Okay, so go back over here. But notice how over here I have you even see this shadow right here. This is resembling your 11 by 17 sheet. So it's almost as if you were working in Illustrator. For those of you guys that have experience with it, you know, this right here is your workspace right here, your canvas. I think artboard, I think it's called, Illustrator called them. And this box right here that we have there, if you're familiar with AutoCAD, they're called viewports. Here in Rhino, they call them details or detail views, or which it doesn't matter. And we actually can resize this. All right, so I select this point right here, move it. And what's cool is that if I double click on it, notice that I'm now within what's called the modeling space versus the paper space, or the sheet, or the display, how we call it right here, the display. So for example, I can set attempt to set my elevation, right? So I can trim this out right here, not trimming, but adjust the viewport right to there. But let's make sure that the scale is correct, because I have a feeling that it's not. Right, so if I select that detail view, and if I go to the properties over here, notice that the scale value it's not right. We actually want to do this one to the 1. So if I press 1 equals 1, you see how I actually blew it up, and that's why I had a feeling that we're not doing this right. You wanna be careful though, because if you double click on that viewport one more time and you go in and out, notice how that scale changes. So whenever, which is most of the time, scale matters, you want to make sure that you keep track, you keep an eye on what scale you're on. So it says right now we're in the 1:1. I like to believe that, but still I click on it and sure, yeah, we're 1:1. The only thing that I need to do now is to readjust the viewport extents. And that viewport, if we go right now to print, does not get print. It will not get print. So, which is good. All right. So we can go ahead and close. All right. And what's cool about this is that I can copy this viewport. I'm holding shift so that I can scale this right here. And then I'm going to copy it one more time. And then, as I mentioned, I can have drawings at different scales within the same sheet. And let's actually try that. Okay, so let's say, for example, I have this elevation over here to my left, and I have this elevation right here to my right. I wanted to scale. You know how you guys were scaling your drawings to laser cut them 2 times the size? Well, you had to go into your drawing itself and scale it in what's called the modeling space. But using the viewports, you can scale them, and you don't actually change or alter the original quote-unquote drawing. What does that mean? Well, I can select the viewport, and it says 1 inches on page equals 1 inches in model. What if 2 inches on page would represent 1 inch in model? You see how it actually got bigger. How much bigger? 2 times as big. The only thing that I need to do is readjust my viewport extents. And now I have the same drawing at 2 different scales without actually changing anything in the original drawing, which is really, really helpful. Okay, let's do the same with this one over here. Rather than 2, what if this was 0.5? And we actually create a drawing that is half the size of that one. And it's accurate. It's really accurate. So we have the original. We have one that it's half of the original, and then we have one that is 2 times the original. The OG right here. So viewports, gotta love them. Okay, let me show you something else. You have that, like I said, that sheet. Sometimes, again, the drawing is not going to print gray with the background like that, but it's helpful to actually see it white. So if you go to options, and you go to appearance over here, and you click on colors right here, and where it says layout, we click on here and we actually select white and we click OK. I actually have that right there. Okay, and then if we do a print display, what is this on? So right now the state is off, so I send it to toggle it to on, and the color to print. Right now we get our line weights. Okay, so something else that it's very helpful to be able to do is to add text on the actual sheet itself. So under pens, I'm gonna create, well, actually, why don't we create a main second layer right here? Let's call this text, and we'll create a sub layer. We'll call this drawing titles. Let's make it active. Let's type text. This comes up, right? This would be a 1-to-1 scale. Right. We can place it right here. I can, it's a little bit small, so I can double click on it, and I can change the size right here, rather than being 0.125, we'll do 0.25. And again, as I suggest doing, is you want to move this right here from this, and you want to align it right here. So I have my smart guides on. Whoops, smart guides on. Smart track, I think it's called, rather, smart track on. Bring this right here. Human. There we go. So that again, it's aligned. This right here. Okay. So we have then we can copy this from here. Copy. Right. And then we can call this 2 scale. Call, how'd that be? That'd be, and well, let's see what does it say right here. Properties 1 to 2, 1 to 5. Use that, I guess. And I'll just call it like this. Okay. Okay. And then let's go ahead and print this. And let's do so that we can start seeing this. So type print. Let's change the sheet size to, can do a custom, well, tabloid. Tabloid is your 11 by 17. We'll do landscape. You should be able to do a custom, but oh, PostScript custom picture here. But okay, tabloid, landscape. We'll do a vector. Print color 11 by 17. The layout, and we want to print to 1-to-1, and we click print. We give this a name, and we give this a viewport scales. And it generates this sheet right here, which first sight, it doesn't seem like the line weights are there, but if we zoom in there, you can see that they're there. And there's different line weights. Now the question is how they look printed, especially that hairline. Well, we'll see. All right, close that there. All right, so let's go ahead and create a new layout right here. New layout. 11 by 17. We'll call this drawings, and width, landscape, size, tabloid, landscape 11 by 17. Okay, we have that right there. Okay. Let's see. Would this work if I copy, Control C, copy, Control V? Nice. All right. So it does work. I can copy paste the viewport from one layout to another one, which I just did. And what I would like for you guys to do is create a sheet with 6 drawings. So I'm gonna copy this and bring this right here. All right. This right here, let's make this the top view, which is your horizontal section cut. Again, the scale is probably not right, so I can double click out, select that viewport, make sure that this is 1:1. All right, and that's the right scale. Okay, and I can send this over here. And okay, so we'll have. So we're gonna have 6 drawings, and we'll talk more about them right now. Right. So we'll have our 4 elevations: E1, right, E2, E3, E4. This is gonna be a vertical section cut, and this is gonna be your horizontal section cut. Okay. All right. Let's take a look. So we have our drawings here. Let's go back to our multi-view viewport right here. And let's do a vertical cut. I think the elevations are pretty straightforward. But we'll come back and take a look. So remember that we have that what was the name of that? You remember? That was the clipping plane, right? The clipping plane. So we can either create a new one or we can use the same one that we have. So I'm going to select it. I'm going to enable it. And if, for example, I graph the gumball, check this out, okay? And I rotate, notice that I actually can do clipping planes at angles, and I can do that. We want to be a little bit more precise right now, so I'm going to undo, but I can rotate this 90 degrees so that I can get my vertical section cut. All right. And just like when I was doing my horizontal section cut, it helped me to actually see it from the front view. And now it helps me maybe to see it from here, right? So I can select the clipping plane and I can move it so that I can know how deep am I or not. Right? So let's say maybe there. We have, I see 1, 2, 3, 4 line weights, I think. Okay, let's do that one right here. Okay, now just gotta keep track of let me do a save real quick. Standard save. Don't forget to save your work. Don't forget also where to capture that view from. Right? Where to capture that view from. So in this case, I want to draw that elevation right here, or that section cut from over here. So that would be technically my front view. Okay, so we repeat the action. How was the process? Remember? You remember? So we gotta go into the viewport, the right viewport. So if I click front, then I select what I want to draw, and then what was the command? Make to D. Options. Okay. Click OK. And then you want to go into top view right away and make sure that you move this out of the way Why is there a line missing? I don't know. There's some lines missing. This is doing something weird. Did I forget to select something? Let's try this one more time. So I'm not sure why I'm missing some lines down here. I'll make 2D. All right. View. Actually, let's do the make 2D from front view. Don't forget. If not, you're gonna get a different drawing. And from input, okay, make 2D projection view. Yeah, I'm not sure why it's not doing the right. Oh, actually, I do know. Is it because the clipping plane? Let's see. Let me habilitate this. Yeah. Okay. Now I know why. Let's go ahead and grab these drawings right here, and then let's push them. Okay. Okay. I think it's because of the clipping plane. Visibility. Let's disable it. See, there is the drawing. All right. Okay, we got what we needed, I guess. But I'm gonna move them still. Move them out of there because actually it's gonna be helpful. So, but still, there's something off. No, all right. I think it's okay. Okay, so, all right. Yeah, that's interesting. That's good to know. I'm gonna align this just because I just like to have everything in order. Select this and delete it. Okay. You know the process. Okay, so we generated this right here. I'm gonna maybe pause right here, break, and come back, and we'll see how your vertical section is looking. Okay, we'll continue after that.